Today we are going to solve trig equations with standard angles on the unit circle. The first thing I'd like you to do is consider what the reference angle would be for our solutions. To do this, we are going to look in the first quadrant for where sine is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. In the first quadrant, the reference angle is equal to the angle itself. So if I consider what my unit circle coordinates are in the first quadrant, I should recognize that the 45-degree angle is where my y-coordinate is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. So therefore, that is my reference angle. So first you find your reference angle in the first quadrant. Oh, I don't like the yellow. Reference angle here is equal to 45 degrees. Now, the next thing I do is I determine which quadrant my solutions are in, and I do that by looking at the sign of my trig function, so it's either positive or negative. I know that sine is negative in quadrants 3 and quadrants 4, so therefore that's where my solutions will be, and they will be in those quadrants with the reference angle of 45 degrees. So looking at quadrants 3 and 4, I have a solution there with reference angle 45, a solution here with reference angle 45 as well. So my first solution is theta equals 180 plus 45, which is 225 degrees. And my second answer will be in the fourth quadrant at 360 minus 45 degrees, which is 315 degrees. So by doing this in this way, we really only need to consider the first quadrant and figure out our solutions from there. Next, I want to look at a problem that involves tangent. So again, we're going to do the first step, look for our reference angle, and we're going to look in the first quadrant for where tangent is square root of 3. Well, we know that tangent in our unit circle is equal to y over x. So I think about it, and I notice that at my 30-degree angle, my coordinates here are the square root of 3 over 2, comma 1/2. At my 60-degree angle, the coordinates here are 1/2, comma square root of 3 over 2. So it's really one of those two places that will give me my reference angle. So I've got to think about it a little bit. Tangent of 30 would be y over x 1/2 over the square root of 3 over 2, which is 1 over the square root of 3. And then I'd rationalize, and that would give me the square root of 3 over 3. Clearly, that is not the answer. That's not my reference angle. So now I'm going to check tangent of 60, which it should be. So here I would have y over x, square root of 3 over 2, over 1/2, and sure enough, that's it. So my reference angle is equal to 60 degrees. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to determine the quadrants of my solution based on the sign of my trig function. So I can see here that it's negative square root of 3. So my solutions are going to be where tangent is negative. And tangent is negative in the second quadrant and also in the fourth quadrant. So I will have solutions in the second with a 60-degree angle as a reference angle, and I will have another solution in the fourth quadrant with a 60-degree reference angle. So my solutions for theta are 180 minus 60, which is 120, and 360 minus 60, which is 300. I'd like you to try to solve this one on your own. Press pause on the video. When you're ready for the answer, press play again. Okay, here's the solution. You can see I found the reference angle was in quadrant 1. I noted that it was either 30 or 60 because I saw the square root of 3. My reference angle was 30, and based upon the sign of my trig function, I determined that my solutions were in quadrants 2 or 4 or 3, and then I found my answers from there. Press pause on your video. When you're ready for the answer here, press play. Note that we are looking for our angle to be in radians. This one's done a little bit differently. The only place on the unit circle where sine is -1, that's the y coordinate, is at 3 pi over 2. So I don't need to do anything with reference angles. I have one solution, 3 pi over 2. Write this down. I want you to solve this one on your own. I want you to note that we are in radians, and when you're ready for the answer, press play again. So here's the solution. I found the reference angle in quadrant 1. That reference angle is where x was 1/2, and that was at pi over 3. Cosine is negative, so I know that my solutions are going to be in quadrants 2 and 3. That's where cosine's negative. Cosine's the x-coordinate on the unit circle. So I have two solutions. One is pi minus pi over 3, and the other one is pi plus pi over 3. Now I'd like you to try to do the assignment that I posted online. Have a great day.